Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Cassie Brown and Aaron Miller. They are a local Propel chapter that is supporting A21, which is abolishing human trafficking, modern-day human slavery in the 21st century, which, I'm still getting my eyes open to this, and it's disgusting, but we've got to look at it, and we've got to make people aware of it because it's happening. And wishing that it wasn't happening doesn't do a thing about it.
There's 27 million slaves in the world today. That's more than at any other point in human history.
Yeah. So at a time when we look back and we think that we're saying that slavery was a long time ago, that's
There's
not
more
so.
now
It
than
exists
ever.
in a different and even more insidious way right now. But we're not just talking about the sex slavery trade. You're talking about what all kinds of slavery, because I know young men, we think about this with young women, but young men are at risk as well. Can you
One in
touch on
three.
that?
1 in 3 men are. 1 in 3 human trafficking victims are actually men or boys. Forced labor, the new one that is really coming out is organ. They're harvesting organs.
What?
So, yes. So 2 people were just rescued last month and put in the aftercare program. They harvest their organs for the black market. And, I mean, this is
Do
how...
people survive that, for one thing?
Depending...
on which organ?
Yes. So like a kidney, they can survive that. But, different organs are harvested. And so literally that's the mind of a trafficker, is they don't look at it like they're people. They've become numbers. And what A21... Commodities and numbers. And so what A21 is taking a stand against is saying they are not a number. They are a person. And so we're taking the numbers away.
That sounds like an urban legend. That doesn't sound like that can possibly be a real thing. And it certainly sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Let's talk about social media, because children, teenagers, young people trust people that they meet online. How dangerous is social media when it comes to human trafficking? Like the let's meet up.
I have a 16-year-old stepson, and I have an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. So as a mom, I can tell you that I don't make apologies for checking my kids and making sure that they're on proper sites. I think as a parent, you need to educate, but you also need to understand that you're not their friend. You need to, when they're 18, at that point, you just need to educate. My parents educated me very well to the understanding. They didn't scare me, but they just let me know this is a very real thing that's going on in the world today, and you need to be careful. But yeah, kids don't understand. I mean, these people know what they're doing. They know, and that's where you think, oh, I'm going to respect my child's privacy. No, there is no privacy. I never had privacy in my house. My mom read our journals. We had no privacy. My personal opinion, as it should be. Your job as a parent is to protect your children and to educate them and to raise them into men and women who are, for me, to raise men and women who love the Lord with all their heart, and are willing to go after what breaks God's heart. And this essentially, as the local church and as, being in the church world all of my life, this is something this is God's heart. His heart is for the captives. His heart is for the broken. His heart is for, those who are in prison. And these people are in prisons of so many different kinds. You talking about emotional prisons, physical prisons. A lot of the victims can be found in the prison system. Everything has been taken from them. And that's the other thing, like in America. So let's bring that back to social media. So a lot of these girls, 13, the average age is 12. So they're getting them young, boyfriend or a friend, your mom and dad don't know what they're talking about. And so they will tattoo them. I think California gang, because this has become a huge thing in the gangs. They're not trafficking drugs as much as they are people. Oh my gosh. And so they will tattoo these men and women. They own them. They're their slaves. And so that is where this has come from. And it is a place where parents need to be aware. And not only that, but, if you're a mom or you're a dad and, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you're a stay-at-home mom and you're like, what can I do? You go to school with your kids. If you're a part of the PTO, take a look at your children's classrooms. Start investing in those kids that don't have those things, because how we can change it in our local communities is to not only be a voice to raise awareness, but also to take a stand and help protect the babies that can't protect themselves. Yes. Let's face it. We have communities where, I grew up very, very poor. And had it not been for the church environments I think that I was in, that helped me a lot, and just really knowing who God was. But your poor communities, they are so at risk. immigrants, those who are here illegally. I mean, I know with everything going on in the world today, that's a thing, but those are people.
And some of them, you say, have been trafficked or are being trafficked. They're mixed in with other people. Refugees coming into countries, some of these are people being trafficked.
Yes.
And we just there's a language barrier. It's very difficult to figure out who's who.
Yeah.
Who's whom.
You can't find them because they're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
We're talking about rescuing. You did mention there's another element of this, and I really need you to help me understand it. Once a child's been rescued, they can't be put into the foster system. Please help me understand.
So I talk to a lot of people in my job. And so I was talking to somebody who we were talking about human trafficking in 821. And she said, one of the problems we're having on a local level is getting kids into a foster care system who have been human trafficked. These kids have been trafficked. Unspeakable things have been done to them. And so what that does to a child is, one, it doesn't help them to know boundaries of right and wrong anymore. And they confuse a lot of different things. And so it's very hard to place a child who has been trafficked because you can't put them with other kids because of their brokenness. And so one of the things that 821, they do have, as far as I'm aware, one house so far in Greece for children 12 and under. And the fact that they have to have a house for human trafficking for 12 and under it's
heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking
in itself. What about just empty nesters that say we would take a child? There would be no other children that would be, at risk, or is the danger there even for those two parents? Just because, as you say, these children have no boundaries. I
think the one thing that you can do on a local level is we have coalitions. So you actually have a Stark County coalition up here. And we have a Tuscarawas County coalition down in Tuscarawas County. They are so equipped to help. They are the boots on the ground movement as well. And they are partnering with, the one down in Tuscarawas County especially is partnering with what we're doing for the walk and love what A21 does and what it stands for. So we're really fusing those two. But that is a great place to start, even as an empty nester. Get a hold of, they have a Facebook page, they have social media, they have a lot of different things, and they have people that you can talk to too, and they can help you kind of say, okay, what can I do to help in my local community?
When we're talking about restoration and aftercare, if you can't do foster care, what kind of aftercare can we provide with these kids?
A21 has actually a program where you can write letters to trafficked victims. And they get those letters. You can help by supporting A21. These people they know what they're doing. For that sense of it, this is kind of how I look at it. I'm a nurse. And so if you code out on me right now, I can do CPR on you. I can know exactly what to do. I am equipped to handle that. If you coded out on Erin right now, I'm not so sure she could handle that.
I'd code out right next to you.
And by code, I mean, dying. Sorry, that was nurse language.
That was nurse talk.
That was
we
nurse
got
talk.
it because we watched those shows.
So you got it. You've watched, So with that, though, it's the same thing. Like, I want to help. The best way that I can help is by educating myself, supporting. I support A21, like I said, because I believe in what they do. And really just, getting on the website, they have tons of things that you can help do. This organization has been around for over 7 years. They have been doing this for a while. They are established. So they have a lot of different things that can help as a great resource tool.
And one thing you can do is participate in a walk on October 13th. Tell us about
15th.
That. 15th.
It's okay. You're fine.
Today's the 13th.
Yes.
Let's do the 15th.
It's 2 days.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so October 15th, it is a worldwide walk for freedom. So this is not just one community. Canton Faith Family Church, if you live in Canton, Ohio, they actually have a walk as well, where you can go, and I think they have it on their website. So you can go and get involved with that walk for freedom. Tuscarawas County, we have one on that day at Tuscarora Park. We are raising awareness in our local community for A21, but we're also raising funds. So people are donating. Local businesses are donating towards what we're doing. It's a 2.74 mile walk. Erin, what am I missing?
Yes, it's a silent walk, single file. Everyone's dressed in black. We're not there to, raise a ruckus. We're there to let people know what is going on, that this is a very real problem. Right. No, we're all in black, all in quiet. Okay. Some people duct tape their mouths because because victims have no voice, and we are doing something about it. And we're preventing it, and we're raising funds to help.
Who can participate if they're just finding out about this now and it's 2 days away?
You can show up, and we will have registration available there. Just show up wearing black.
And my kids are a part of it too, so all of my kids will be there. Are yours coming?
Yes.
Age group, it doesn't matter.
I've got a 3 and a 5-year-old,
really?
And they will be there. I'm hoping that they can be quiet enough to walk, but they will be there at the event to at least support it.
And they'll understand that this is something serious and they're doing something important.
My 5-year-old, we were leaving the library the other day, and my 3-year-old had run off, and I hear him in the back seat say, "Gus, you cannot run off. They will take you and sell you."
Whoa, oh my goodness. You know, how sad that kids have to know that. Oh, my goodness. Let's talk. And you said those who are rescued are much more likely to help prosecute.
Yes.
Let's get to the partnerships part, because you are part of a coalition, which is kind of a relatively new coalition. Talk about that.
So Tuscarawas County, actually, we were contacted by them. They launched... Like I said, I've known about this for 4 years, and I have sat and I've just cried and prayed and said, God, what do you want me to do other than supporting A21, financially? Lord, I want to do something in my community. And so I just waited on God and just kind of explored, found out we didn't have a coalition 4 years ago. And even 2 years ago was in contact with what can we do? And so this year they've started a coalition. More people, God is just so strategic. And so more people have come on board. And I actually got to talk last Thursday at the Dover Library with the coalition, and we just started getting connected, and they're like, this is what you're doing, this is amazing. I'm like, this is what you're doing, this is amazing. So really just coming alongside of each other. And, one of the things that our core values as our Propel chapter, and it's specific to us, is we complement, we don't compete. So we can do more for the body of Christ.
We need each other.
We do.
Yes. And that is a body working together, and we can do more together than individually.
Correct. And so we can all just go and, do our own thing, which is great. We can all do things independently, but like a body, we need some connective tissue, and connective tissue is created through working together. And so we love what they're doing. We're working with them. I'm getting with them next week. They'll be at the walk as well. They're supporting the walk of what we're doing. And I'm excited to see what we're going to do moving forward in our local community, because that's the thing. I can't do everything worldwide, but I can do something here.
Yes, we can all do something. Website where we can get more information?
So you can go to A21, which is
www.a21.org.
A21.org.
Yep.
All right. And everything will be there.
Yeah. And if you are a social media person, we have an Eventbrite. We have an event for Tuscarawas County for Walk for Freedom. You can register there as well. And we'll have information on different people's stories and where you can go for that as well.
Wonderful. And Christine Kane's book is called Run to Win.
One of her books. She has a lot. The one that I would tell you to definitely get is Unashamed.
Okay.
That book is going to help you get set free of all of your mess.
Awesome. Cassie Brown, Aaron Miller, thank you so much for what you're doing in our community.
Thank you.